Slowly opening one eye at a time, I rose from my bed, still half dazed. Scratching my eyeball, I realized it was still pitch black outside my window. Yet the only thing that could be heard from the darkness was the colored leaves rustling against each other in swift motion. I looked over to the clock, noticing I still had time to spare before school started. I sighed, lifting up the warm bed sheets and into the cold bathroom where I took a hot shower. Once out, I put on my average clothes, a pair of jeans with a t-shirt that had a picture of a monster truck in the front. Approaching the downstairs, the aroma of pancakes smacked me in the face. A light humming song was heard from the kitchen. "Hello?" I said, walking in. "Good morning, James," my mother said. I sat down at the table. "Mom, don't you have work? Aren't you going to be late?" I said, looking down at the plate of food and helping myself. "Well, I've decided to move my hours so I can make a healthy breakfast for my little man." "Mom, I'm not little anymore. I'm turning 10 soon, remember?" I just realized how time flies and how big you're growing up. Next thing you know, you're going to be in middle school. Mom looked at me with a smile, but her eyes were on the brink of sadness. It's hard to be a single mom sometimes. Working 3 jobs isn't easy, and sometimes I forget what's really important. She sat, putting a hand on my shoulder. "I want to be a great mom and be there when you need me," she said. It's crazy to say, but I believe my mom's going through those new life, new me realization my aunt was talking about. 2 weeks back, my mother was in a horrible car accident. After being checked into the hospital, my mother had told a nearby nurse that she was saved by the hands of an angel and was given a second chance in life. I moved in with my aunt in the meantime, although on the days I visited my mom, she said that before the brink of death, she heard a noise that no one in the living world has ever heard. She said that it startled her, and before she could actually find the noise, she woke up in the hospital. She tells me that only the dead will hear this noise. It might not be the same for everyone though. I took shotgun as my mom drove me to school. Approaching my school, my mother patted and gave me a kiss on the head. When we arrived, I jumped out and ran into my school before the school bell. My mother, still in the car, yelled out, "I love you, James." I turned around to say it back, but the ringing of the bell drowned out my words, and I waved and headed back into the school. Running through the hallways, I noticed the principal talking to a tall, skinny guy trying to fix the old grandfather clock that I swear has been there before the dinosaurs. Supposedly, legend has it that its creator had a fascination for clocks, unique clocks and watches. One of his creations was this grandfather clock, and he had fallen in love with it, until one cold blizzard night, he had a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital. He was pronounced dead after. They say that the time of his death is set on the grandfather clock and has not moved since. From then, the school had bought the clock from an auction, but no matter how much they try, they can't manage to make them hands move. On the day of his death, people say you could hear the clock ticking very softly. I continued my class without getting caught for my tardiness. I sat down on the chair taking notes for class. Writing down, I felt a wet substance on the top of my head. I picked it up, noticing it was a spitball. I looked over and, to no surprise, found out it was the guys that had been bullying me since the first day of school. I grunted in disgust. These 4 guys have it out for me for no apparent reason. Maybe to feel like a big shot or to feed their insecurities. I don't know. Recess soon came, and I was excited to play a few rounds of 4 squares until I felt my hair being grabbed. I looked over, realizing it was the same guys from earlier. I shook my head and scratched the hand that grasped me, but with no avail. What's up with them? They usually won't even bother me during recess because they're too busy playing their dumb game. They dragged me all the way to the corner so that even the teacher couldn't see us. I began to shake. Their smiles on their faces scared me. I tried to push through, but they managed to push me back to the same spot. My breathing became quicker. The first guy threw the punch. My stomach shot up with pain. I flew back. Coughing up my breakfast, I could hear them talking about who should go next. What's going on? They'd never done this before. I tried covering my face, but they only laughed. The next one kicked my foot, and I went down trying to grasp it, but but he uppercutted me before I could. I felt myself choking. I felt helpless and scared. Why were they doing this? Why me? Was it better for me to get this? For me to endure this pain so that no one else would? I hate this. My head hit the concrete first, and I laid there. The bullies' laugh died out. Some of their faces even looked worried. I didn't feel like moving. I was too tired. I felt some kind of wet liquid all over the top of my head. I stared at the guys one by one as they left, some even with tears. What were they crying about? My eyesight became blurry. I was so tired that taking a nap here wouldn't even sound so bad. In fact, it actually felt nice. A few seconds in, my eyesight began to darken. I closed them slowly, taking a nice nap. Opening my eyes quickly, I sat up. I gasped as if I was drowning. I looked around, but the bullies were nowhere in sight. I turned around to see if the liquid had stained my clothes, but unfortunately, there was no stain. Not even the liquid that I felt was even there. Confused, I got up and noticed it was dark out. The yard was empty. Where was everyone? Did they go home and forget about me? Looking around, everything appeared to be almost a gray color. I walked back to the school doors, but couldn't open it at the first push. I tried again to push with all my might, but it was as if it was rusted shut. I walked to the main doors, hoping I could get out, go home, take a shower, and eat my mom's homemade dinner. But to my surprise, the door was locked. Pushing or pulling did no effect. Was I really locked in here for the night? I tried the entire school exit doors, but to no accomplishment. Walking around the school, it almost looked abandoned, like as if no one's been here for years. Spider webs and dust everywhere, broken glass and chairs. Frightened, I decided to head back to my classroom and try to find a closet to hide in and maybe even sleep there for the night, just until the break of dawn. Quickly walking to my classroom, I heard a soft, almost unheard noise. I followed it in the hopes that someone might have been there. It was like a dinging noise that would pause after every ding. Approaching the noise, I stopped. Seeing where the noise had been coming from, I grew confused. How was that even possible? I felt my eyes water. I grew more scared than I was when I was with the bullies. So much I wished they would come back. Realization came to me, and I swallowed hard. I felt like I was going to throw up. My body began to shake as the noise grew louder and louder. On September 26th, a young boy at the age of 9 was found dead after a tragic accident during his elementary recess. 4 of the boys that were playing with the 5th grader said that upon playing a game had tripped over an unknown object and fallen, landing him headfirst on the concrete floor, killing him instantly. Students there do not speak about the incident, almost as if they are too scared to speak. The school has now been closed down for almost 18 years. Anyone daring to enter the abandoned school say they could hear footsteps, and even the voice, to many believe, is the boy's spirit. The strangest part of it all is that you could hear a grandfather clock in the inside ticking, even being abandoned for so many years. Oh my god, I can't find the clicker. Oh! Why is it so hard? And why is it so hard to read? Oh my god, my mom's calling me. Ah, yes! Scratching my eyeball, I realized it was still patchy black. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. It's still dark outside. I don't know how to talk. Slowly opening one eye at a time, I rose from my bed, still half dazed. Scratching my eyeballs, I realized it was still pitch black outside my window. Yet the only thing that could be heard from the darkness was the colored leaves rustling. Where is it? Oh wait, is this recording? What the?